have been cast in that movie, she lacked the necessary refinement. In Colt's photograph, she's dressed like a singer at the Grand Ole Opry, the costume party equivalent. All Colt saw going out the door was, I'm guessing, some ratty old shoe and a cloud of cigarette smoke, but he kept those photographs. One where she's holding him, he's about 2 years old, and Juna is so miserable, one side of her mouth has collapsed. She has had a stroke of misery. In the other, she is modeling her Opry dress, white, some predecessor to vinyl, and her white boots, along with her big hair, which is black like Colt's, and does appear to be leading her out of the frame and into whatever her future was. No one knows. If only he'd been facing the camera, I, could see his eyes, which were round, irises so black there was no end to his pupil. Hair from Juna, eyes from his father, Clyde Sr., of whom there are a number of photographs, but no one is interested in them. Not much to him, as I understand it. He was born to be Juna's victim and live in the same house with his widowed mother and give up on raising his only child after the child's mother left. Well, what was the man to do but walk slumped over every day to his job at the gas station and, am I right? Did his teeth eventually melt? I think so. I think his teeth melted. So Colt let his hair grow long and bought a wrecked 1950 BMW R512, which he worked on night and day in place of a formal education. And was it even running yet when he met His hair grew long, and he rode that bike all the way from Kentucky, over the Ohio River, and through Tell City, up the middle of Indiana until he landed a day laborer and then a carpenter, but no one ever messed with him or said a word about that ponytail, because he was fast as a whip crack, afraid of nothing. He carried a switchblade and walked with a slight left-leaning swagger from a childhood accident. He seemed cool in all ways, but he was wound tight. His body rang like a piano string. I could hear him coming from miles away. An A note in an upper register struck and struck and struck again. His hands were ruined with work, and before he stopped touching me, he would sometimes run his hand over my back and leave a dozen snags in the material of my shirts. He maybe didn't even have fingerprints anymore. In the winter, he drove a '73 Ford truck, an F-100 with a 360, brown, that specific shade of brown of 1973. The muddy dogs jumped in the front seat. Barn boots weren't even wiped in the grass before driving. The floor was littered with every imaginable kind of trash and tool and cast-off work glove. They assumed the shape of his hands, and the bed was scarred from loads of firewood and scrap metal. He thought only about what was under the hood. He took care where it mattered. Colt had me, his truck, his bike, his ruined hands. He had his black dog, Weeds, and cigarettes, which maybe Juna left him or taught him. I don't know how it happens. The Marlboro Red Pack, more of the music of my life. My father's barely in-tune A-note, jittering down the gravel road and up to the side of the house, and the ritual gestures. Peel away the silver strip that seals the rectangular box, pull off the upper cellophane, throw it on the ground, in the bed of the truck, whatever. Knock the box against your forearm 3-4 times to pack the tobacco. Flip the lid with just your thumb, choose the cigarette in the front, in the middle, put it in the corner of your mouth, and light it with your hands cupped around the match or the lighter, even if no wind is blowing, even if you're standing in your daughter's bedroom, and she wakes up because of the sound of the flame, and she doesn't know what you're doing there, but she sees you. She would give you anything. She would fillet herself to keep you there, to take you in under the cheap coverlet. She is the dying, the cancer.